Welcome back, folks, to Midwest Linux Gaming. While we get back set up, I had a Steam crash, weirdly. I'm your host, Stumpin' Llama, as we get back into things. I was originally, and this is planned for probably Saturday, to be honest, a not necessarily comparison, but a showcase of the Rise of Ronin, the game that came between Nioh 2 and 3, and just a short explanation so that people might actually have a point of comparison between when I talk about Rise of Ronin and the things they did better, in my opinion, than Nioh. But the important thing to note, there's a difference in gameplay of genre between the two games. For as much as Rise of Ronin has complicated bosses that are very human and it can be difficult at times, that one is more action focused than Nioh 2. Now granted, I don't know how much of that philosophy carried over into Nioh 3. We've not played it. We don't know. Or I don't know, at least. It's definitely more action-focused while maintaining the control scheme and general combat styles of Nioh. I'll get into more of that Saturday, when I can show you a little bit more. But today we have side missions. So many side missions. And maybe a main mission, if we're lucky. Let's see. I think we only had 2 side missions? Yeah, we only had 2 side missions, because this one requires a Shadow's Duty. Which, that one requires a Tiger approaches. Actually, we have multiple side missions. A lot of side missions. I have a feeling a lot of these are going to be combat against a singular opponent. Although, not necessarily. Looks like we have to start with a Tiger approaches anyway. Normally I'd start with a main mission, but we still have a lot of side missions. So we'll try and get those out of the way first. Hidi, I've got a job for you. While have you been busy engaging the Azai and the Asakura forces, there have been signs of movement from the east. A fearsome general, Takeda Shingen, the Tiger of Kai, is on maneuvers. The forces of Tokugawa, a sworn ally of the Oda, attempted to engage him at Sanpogatake, but were completely obliterated. Unfortunately, it seems the hot-blooded Honda Tadakatsu hasn't returned from battle. Worried about Shingen's movements. But first things first, we need to find Lord Tadakatsu. There's an ancient saying in Japanese. What I thought was a ghost was merely dried grass. Referring to the Suzuki grasses that turn brown in the autumn months. Their distinctive waving in the breeze is the source of their supernatural connotations, occasionally tricking observers into thinking they'd seen a ghost. Suzuki grass is sometimes used as a charm to ward off evil spirits. Oh, this map looks familiar. If you've played Nioh 1, this looks like that, that one map we had a lot of things going on. Yeah, because that would lead up to the shoreline. Yeah, this is that same map from Nioh 1. A lot of combat encounters happened here. Yeah, because there's the tree. There's the down below. And there's the water. A lot of combat happened over in this particular arena. Of course, had to be multiples of Rocketman. Had to be multiple Rocketmen. Ouch. I didn't know you could physically counter them like that. That was a pelt. Ouch! Get up, get up, get up! Well, that was the first set done. Who knows what else lies ahead? I dread to think. Especially in the water area. Well, that's Honda. Right, the Gaki are actually cannibals. Surely you can take care of the last one. Oh, there's more beyond here? Oh, this is new? I don't remember there being more beyond here. It may have been on a mission, but I don't remember it being on a lot of missions. Yanaba. Burned to death. Yeah, of course. Why would there not be Snake? I did not know these things could come in fire variety. Get up, move, move, move. Invincibilities. Oh, good Lord. That was pretty exciting, to be honest. A sculpture? Thing is, I don't think we're going to get a chance to fight. Again, many of our allies in Nioh 2 are bosses we fought in Nioh 1. Which is another wild thing to think about. You have my utmost gratitude. Thanks to your efforts, I can continue to serve my master. I'll never forget what you've done here today. Still, the Azai and the Asakura forces put up a far greater resistance to the Oda troops than I ever thought possible. Perhaps they too have fallen under the sway of that dark power. We must be careful. And we acquired another level. Given that we rely a lot, and I mean a lot, on the magic, we should be investing in some of that. And that requires a Shadow's Duty. Ah, please, make your way to Akagawa at once. Someone, or something, has attacked the Tokugawa forces in the wake of the battle. Such a place, the site of so many battles. It would not be remotely surprising that this is work of wrathful spirits or yokai. If by any chance yokai are involved, then your talents will be needed to rid us of them. I can think of no one more suited to your task. Once again, still with the insufficient rice. On the bright side, I might be able to make an offering now. What do we have? The Samurai from the Dark Lands axe. That's a shame they're not actually useful. Royal Tonfas. Borehole bow. A fire damage increased cannon. That I did not mean to smack. Constitution required for possibly a better helmet? No, not a better helmet. Well, technically it's possibly a better helmet. We might need to grab a bit of Constitution, it's looking like. Especially if the shinobi gear is like that. Make sure we've got everything selected in the bazaar. And what murder you right off the bat? Oh, people just falling to their deaths. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Get that health restored a little bit. I'm not sure how he saw us or heard us. That's not a revenant. That's just a guy. Oh! I take that back. It's a U. Ouch. The fact that they can continually hit me with that is quite silly. It says to go that direction, but there's a dark realm over here. Ouch. Oh great, he needs a Odachi user too. He has a lot of health. Also, restores maximum. That's the problem with a defensive Odachi user. They just use up so much of their stamina. This is why we didn't have that much. This is why we had so much of a problem with that one guy. With that one samurai. Is because he went on the offensive. And because he could interrupt me more than I could interrupt him... Of course! I didn't keep up the attack, so... right, they can heal too. Well, that didn't do much. It also has a lot of health. Right, he's also got a healing one down. It is kind of unfair that they can restore their stamina before me, but there we go. That guy's down, but that doesn't mean everything's down. Well, that was ever so slightly annoying, but not the worst enemy in the world. Nice campus. An extinction switchglaive. Ooh. Sounds fancy. I wonder if one could have worked their way backwards from there and approached from the other side? Another summoner's candle. And 51,000. Looks like another yokai realm? Oh no, that is just a level barrier. Weird. Weird. We've got skill points to use. I suppose increased damage is not a bad idea. More ranged damage never hurts. There was a magic I was working towards, which was my increased capacity. Well, that was a little unfortunate, but I mean, I know we can run by them. We don't know what's in the arena. I suppose we better find out. Whole bunch of basic enemies at the moment. A rematch! Ow. Oh God. I'll eat one of these. Oh, one cycle. Well, not one cycle, but one try. I did have to eat a full heal, which that does not feel good. But that worked. Oh. Magara walks the battlefield still, you say? He's stubborn indeed, taking a demon's form and hindering us even in death. Well, I suppose he is a true samurai as they come. I wish only I could have faced him while he was still alive. And we're how off from the next level? 6. There we go. And they said Constitution needed to be 10. Why not? It's a good base stat to have. Oh, that's hot. No, that's taking on him in one battle. Hide, I'm in need of your assistance. In order to aid in the retreat of our allies, Hanzo was dispatched to hamper the Takeda's army's pursuit. However, he did not return at the appointed time, which is long since passed. While I doubt that someone of Hanzo's talents could have even been easily bested, I worry that something might have befallen him. After all, the yokai have been appearing in ever greater numbers as of late. Please would you help me find him? $99. Some prayer beads. There is a guy up there. Surprised there's no one in this room. That'd be because there is someone in this room. I'm surprised that man didn't see me. I'm surprised that didn't kill him. There we go. I have to come back for him. Running a little low on rifle ammo, but that's mostly on me for expending it so freely. Oh. That's another Dark Realm. Are you going to come down? Oh, you are not going to be within range of proper assassination techniques. No proper death from above for me, it would seem. So it would seem. Ninja! Of course. Why would they not deploy ninjas? Death by warrior? That guy didn't even die to the ninja. I was gonna say, which being in this Dark Realm is the one that holds the magic together? Like, none of them. And clearly none of them. And of course, those guys are just waiting over here. Of course, it's locked from this side. So we'd have to approach it from the other side anyway. Right. That is not the direction. This is the direction. A direction. They're not nearly as effective as the bombs. Oh. Oh, that was not what I wanted. I see him. Oh, that was maybe not worth. Maybe not worth. That might have not been worth it. I see them. I'm not terribly concerned about them. Of course. No elixirs. There's a Scampus, but he's not really that important. I was not expecting him to do that. That's the Enki down there? Oh, that's not the Enki, that's the other guy. I may not have my proper matchlock. However, I have something just about as powerful. I don't like that. On the one hand, I don't like that. Aberrant soldier has been killed and moved on from That's just a skeleton warrior who has an odachi. Oh, he's just an axeman. Free elixir and a soul. We'll take the core. I was hoping for more ammunition, to be honest. Right, forgot about this entry point. What murdered you? The boss guy, it looks like. Alright, what are you? It's just an Eki. I'm not sure what I could have done about that one. Who? Oh, you. That could only see me from one angle anyway. Of course, he does that again. I get caught by that every time. And free soul core. I can't argue with that. There we go. That Eki down. And of course, shortcut unlocked. Of course, I saw you up there, so you didn't matter. Of course, I'm going to have to remember that guy every time I try and take on you. I accidentally initiated a counter on him. Oh, apparently this was a rescue mission. Who? What? Okay. They're just gonna run in place towards me, it would seem. I didn't see half of those guys. I'm not gonna lie. Hanzo. You got caught off guard by one of the simpler enemies. A Shinobi box. Now let us move on, I suppose. Yeah, my thanks. I will repay this debt to you, I swear. I succeeded in drawing them off, but once I was surrounded by those yokai, I thought it was all over for me. Happily, it did not come to that. In any case, I managed to pin down the enemy army enough to let our allies make an escape. But it seems that lords other than the Azai are starting to make use of the power of the yokai. If that's the case, then many tough battles lie ahead. We need to be prepared. It was 99 to the next level. Yeah, 30% of those restored. That should get us somewhat close. I did say somewhat. I should have just popped a Lumicite shard, to be honest. Anyway, what skills have we gathered? Another Shiftling ability. And a Ninja ability. Wait. Elixir capacity. I should have realized there'd be that in place. Hey, did you hear the news? Takeda Shingen has finally seems to have fallen, and to illness no less. Although he seems to have been surely in his sickbed, there have been numerous sightings of him on the battlefield. It's causing quite a stir, as you can imagine. Most likely it's simply a case of mistaken identity, but the soldiers seem agitated nonetheless. Would you mind accompanying me? I'd rather know the truth of this matter. Back into the greenery forest. It's like the 4th or 5th time we've had this level. Make sure I pull my weight? Jeez. I do have a sloth talisman prepared. Might as well grab a lightning shot as well. Forgot I had a sloth talisman, to be honest. Anti-paralyze. Honestly, those are not very good. As much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna add the bombs to there. And let's see what we're up against. Instant boss arena? That's different. Well, I didn't even really stand a chance there. Against that Revenant, he just kind of jabbed me. Really wasn't much I could do about that. Lightning Onibi? Are you kidding me? Of course there'd be more as we go along. Of course there'd be a monk. Why would it not have been complicated? As if Revenants aren't bad enough on their own. No! Get up! Jesus! Well, that was complicated. Pardon me, I did not mean to say that, but holy crap. Just, he couldn't even take on a minor spear lord on his own. Good lord, you are a useless man. You are useless. I mean, you were a useful distraction, but that was about all you were. Holy cow. So the rumors of Shingen's death and those of the sightings on the battlefield were both true? Well, hopefully the stir should die down now. Thank you. But to think, even in death, Shingen still commanded the loyalty of the Takeda clan. It only goes to show what an extraordinary individual he was. But even so, he was surely no match for Lord Nobunaga. If I were to die, I would continue fighting at his side. Be it as a ghost, as a yokai, I'll be there. You can count on it. And I think we can count on him doing just that. A little bit more magic capacity. Can I give myself... Yes, I can double my sloth talismans. And I need to remember I have them. Because those are amazingly useful. There are curious reports of an unseasonable snowfall in the Shimbata Katsui's district domain. If the snow continues to fall, it will make life very difficult for those that reside there. Seems to be something behind this strange phenomenon. Could I ask you kindly to get to the bottom of this? I will say, Nioh 2 seems to have a lot more side missions than Nioh 1. Like, a lot more. Like, this is only, what, the third region, technically? And there's, like, this many? I know if we don't kill that thing, it'll take on other forms. Well, that was my own stupidity, based on the snowclops. Ow. Ow. Seriously, Umbrella. Darn umbrella. Bah! That was a sudden weird lag spike. Ow. Well, a minorly annoying fight, to say the least. Fortunately, I think it's a one-time only fight, so we're free to... would be free to fully heal up. If it wasn't for lack of rice again. And as usual, the high quality items we keep behind for good reason. Like, that's a really good water sword. It's a shame that its brother, actually, this one, doesn't have any usefulness about it. Armor I'm a little less concerned with. That, on the other hand, is just a really good a really good armor, potentially. A lot of medium armor, not a lot of light armor, and that continues to vex me a little bit. Vex isn't even really the right term, but it's an annoyance. Next one. What else is there? No, not dealing with you and your shenanigans. Ow, ow. Maelstrom Onibi. So it would seem Onibis, well, they obviously come in a variety of varieties. But the fact that in a variety like that is, like, kind of interesting. A flying bolt. That's one we haven't seen. Oh great, I've been slowed. Of course, it has to be the bolt. No! Oh, bugger. Combine them with an Enki? Oh my lord. That is a minor annoyance. On the bright side, these guys are relatively easy to take care of. Did not keep track of her. Oh, minor annoyance, as I said. I like it when they throw those combos out at me. Like, sometimes they can be a very interesting, useful combo. And we got, like, not only did we get the Flying Bolts Soul Core, we got 2 Maelstrom Onibis. So that's a big plus. This note makes everything clear. It would seem those yokai were, in fact, Lord Nobuyuki and his wife. So Lord Nobunaga has done it all to bring order to this land. Ignore my idle musings. In any case, that should be the end of the snow. Ooh, that one's got a luck bonus on it. And of course, all that's left now is the fight. And next level is 103, which means we do have a Lumicite crystal, which is 50. That'll bring us pretty close. And clearly increase our main stat. Handed over a lot of smithing texts. That is an finally, a sentient Odachi. It's a shame it's not a good one, but, you know, we can't all get good things in life. That's just a regular white fox mask. That's actually not that good. And donate the rest to the Kodamas. Just illustrations. Temper, that's the word I was looking for. What do these beads get? Honestly, nothing much. Those are not great beads. Nothing useful in there. Well, that basically means, we get to fight Honda. I don't remember him being a particularly difficult boss in Nioh 1, but that doesn't mean anything. I believe he was a Spear Lord? Oh, if he's the Spear Lord. I remember having some problems with the Spear Lord. I suppose. Yep. He is a Spear Lord. Well, I remember him causing more of a problem, because I remember running around with Spear Lord. Do not let this go to your head. I will hone my skills. As I will hone my skills, I will prepare myself. We shall do battle again. We have acquired deer! Yes! We have acquired deer! I've borne this mighty Muramasa spear. We're getting a lot of backstory on a lot of these characters. We got some backstory via the Journal of Nioh 1. But now we get some really intricate, much more personal backstory in Nioh 2. Oh, I cannot stop trembling. Facing an opponent such as strong as you makes me feel so alive. I hope we can lock blades again. when we are both stronger still. I believe that is all of the side missions. That is indeed all of our side missions. We only have like 2 hours. Warrior's Cross Spear, we don't need. Lightning Spear, yes. Warrior of the East, it's a heavy armor, we don't use that. Obsidian Greaves, it's also a heavy armor, we don't use that. We're still on the Soul Core drop rate. There's still 10 Kodamas missing in the region. And there's only 7 missing from the next mission. Well, let's have a look and see if he has another T-set thing. If I keep finding garbage or not. Because he gives you the free one and then you get the first 2 I found were complete garbage. How did they do over their last set of battles over the last 7 days? Blue got massacred. White got massacred. White got massacred. We did win some glory. Not much. Again, the Swallowtail armor. I don't think I have any access to that. I'm hesitant to go into the next mission because that's where the next yokai boss is going to be at. Oh, I don't want to do that mission. If I remember, Blood on the Wind's the one with the ferret. And as much stronger as I am, which is fairly significant. Yeah, level 73. That ferret was a pain in the butt. But we have gotten stronger. Because I am hesitant to just move on to the next mission because God knows how long it's going to take, and I'd much rather save that for the next thing, but there's no other side missions left to do, and we've only been going for not even 2 hours. And normally we go for 4. But these missions can take up to 4 hours apiece. Multiple hours. And there's no way to stop mid-mission that I am aware of. So instead, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to call it here. I know. I know. After I go through my cores real quick. Ninjutsu hit, that's not that useful. Yeah, and that one has treasure sensor, which is always good to have. That's the better Yanaba core. Soul drop rate and an item drop rate. Just go through the cores real quick. If I could combine those, that'd be great. That's the better one. Probably that one? Honestly, I put that on that. That'd probably be a better option. And what about these Yoki cores? Yoki cores, they tend to not be that good. Maybe with the added defense. That one will be good. A lot of these just have win in yokai shift mode, and that's not great. And then we've got these mortal cores, which exist only to increase ranks. Yeah, with the equipment drop rate and everything, that one's just the best one of them all. So those Ekis aren't useful. It seems a waste to take a level 57 soul core and put it on a on a level 10, but because the most important thing that these things do is they increase their overall stats that they give. Ipendarata. That one might be worth putting some mortal cores into. Oh, I did put all 3 of the cores in there. Yanaba. Skeleton cores. That gives an additional +7 defense, which is, like, actually very good. The Azura. There we go. That one's got all the item slots filled. And then Maelstrom Onibi. It does increase the elemental damage, so there's reasons to use those guys. And we should just resting rights the rest of them. Except for the mortal cores. A fang and a pelt. Well, we have plenty of those. Let's be honest. We should look at what guardian spirits we have. I've not looked at these in a while, so I don't know what, especially the new ones, contain. Elephant has an increased toughness. Okay, that could actually be really good. Butterflies. If I had a water weapon, we could use that. Mermaid, water resistance. Life drain if I had water attacks. Okay. Deer, lightning damage. And we have him as a secondary. Now, truly as a good secondary ability, what's a good one? Honestly, probably Elephant. We just need to attune some cores to him. Some luck. And that Dweller core with that attack and the equipment drop rate? Yeah, that'd be good. It's a significantly more defensive soul. And it's a phantom one, which is something different. I just need to remember to occasionally swap them out. But as much as I was saying, as much as I hate to call it here, I'm hesitant to start a new level because of how long they take. Especially bosses. Sometimes the bosses are like the one in the last major level, 2 or 3 times and then you're done. Other times they just don't. Other times they're like, you're like hit your head against a wall until they break or you break. Still, no enemy has really compared to that Odachi magic user. I'm going to be honest. We've been very fortunate where that has not been the case. Like, something along his level has not returned. Yet. Like, we fought multiple other duels, and none of them have really been that annoying. Even Revenants with Odachis, which have massively inflated health pools and seemingly bosses, they weren't nearly as bad as him because they couldn't 7-hit infinite combo into, well, an infinite combo. Plus laying the landmines and constantly interrupting you because magic is an instant interrupt. At least at our particular lower defense rating. I mean, we are wearing light armor, so it's not entirely surprising we can't take a hit or two. But we do try. But having said all that, I suppose we'll see everybody Friday for the demo of Moonlight Peaks. And then Saturday for a little peek of what I'm talking about when I compare Nioh to Rise of Ronin. We'll do a really short early game mission of really no importance. Maybe a smidge open world, and then we'll start right into this Nioh mission. Just a smidgen, just so we have a point of comparison when I say that Rise of Ronin does things differently. In many cases, I think better, but in other cases not. We can get into that again because, as I've said, Rise of Ronin, it's an action, more action-y than a Souls-like, although it shares many of the same mechanics. Which is always interesting. But we'll see you then.